Coming up, one town has a new mayor who will have to tackle an old problem.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. 3 weeks after the Buckhorn City Council voted to remove Robert Turner as mayor, a new mayor has been sworn in. It comes as the city is facing a water crisis. They are among many communities across the region without water tonight, and Hazard City officials declared a state of emergency because of it earlier today. WYMT's Jack Demler has more from Buckhorn's special council meeting.
On Monday, Buckhorn City Council officially swore in Simi Bowling as the new mayor of Buckhorn. A lifelong resident of Buckhorn, Bowling says he hopes to be a helpful part of the community.
I just want to be an asset to the community, try to help. I've lived here all my life. I know the needs, and I just want to help people.
The decision comes at a time where many residents are without water. A problem Bowling says is not new to the area.
Well, we've always had a problem with water, and when it gets as cold as it has been for the last few days, we've had issues with our water, but hopefully we can get some of those issues addressed in the future, and maybe we won't have to go through this many more times.
It is unknown how long the water will be off, and cases of it are being distributed to families to ensure people have something.
There'll be a lot of this going on. We'll continue. We don't have as large a load as we wanted to bring right now, but we'll be back over in all of the areas as time goes on. I'm in fear going to be it's kind of going to be long lasting.
Freddie Grigsby, who works with the county, says it will take time to get the water tanks back to where they need to be.
Even though the weather gets right and everything looks good, the tanks are still empty.
In Buckhorn, Jack Demler, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, Hazard Mayor Happy Mobilini tells me as of earlier this evening, about 2,000 Hazard water customers were without water. We have a list of all the areas affected on our website. There are roughly 9,500 customers total. Updates on water distribution sites are being provided on Facebook. Officials say the Hazard Pavilion is also open every day for anyone needing a shower. As temperatures warm up from the extreme cold, people could see more water pipe issues this week. But there are some steps you can take to prevent problems. Make sure you always know where your water valve shutoff is located in the event one bursts. Let your faucets drip and do what you can to keep pipes warm. Pipe damage might not reveal itself until ice blockage thaws and releases pressure on the pipe.
That expansion that may actually be masking that crack, but when the water thaws, it's becoming liquid again. And so therefore it can move through those cracks. And that's when you start to see those broken lines. That's when it reveals itself.
Officials with Kentucky American Water say this time of year it's not unusual to see a higher number of water main breaks.
We are tracking some dry conditions on this Monday evening, but changes on the way as early as tomorrow. This evening, though, up on First Alert Pinpoint Doppler, we are tracking some dry weather as high pressure is the name of the game on this Monday evening. As we zoom out, we are tracking high pressure off the eastern coast, and that is keeping us dry as we go into tonight. But notice that moisture off to the west that is pushing into our direction as we go into tomorrow, and more moisture on the way for much of this week. Those current temperatures for most of us in the 30s and 40s. Up to 39 for Pikeville, 41 for Jackson, 37 in Somerset, also Monticello, but already down to 26 in Middlesboro and 27 over in Clintwood. At this hour, most of us fall into the upper 20s and lower 30s, and we are dry overnight, but those clouds do increase as that next weather system is not too far away. And be sure to grab the umbrella before you wake up and walk out the door on Tuesday, as more off-and-on showers are likely. Not going to rain 24/7 tomorrow, but a few showers are possible. More widespread rain is looming by Wednesday, also Thursday. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Cameron, thank you. It took tons and tons of salt to clear Kentucky roads during our week-long stretch of winter weather, and that salt can lead to potholes in the roads. New tonight, Grayson Passmore talked with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet about how they are prioritizing road repairs.
If you feel like there always seems to be more potholes on your commute every winter, well, that's because there probably are.
And you always want to drive slow if you are in an area where you do think that potholes have formed, and be careful in those areas until those are repaired.
With the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Natasha Lacey says most winter potholes are created when cracks allow water to seep into the foundation. The trapped water underneath the asphalt can then freeze, which pushes the surface of the pavement up. When the temperature rises, the trapped ice melts and creates a hollow space between the pavement and the subbase. And the weight of your car can cause the pavement to collapse. Then you've got yourself a pothole, or several. Lacey says crews are already working to patch them.
Our crews work on filling potholes with a cold mix. And when the asphalt plants reopen in the spring, they go over those same areas with a hot mix to smooth the asphalt out.
And auto shops across town are already packed with customers feeling the impacts from this winter weather.
And to hit something, get it looked at by a professional. We here at Southside Auto Repair are professionals. We can take a look at that, your tires and everything. Sometimes your control arms could get hurt. That's not good either for the vehicle. That's not good for your riding or your stability.
In Lexington, Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
Transportation officials ask that you report any potholes you see so their crews know what areas need to be fixed. Administrators with Jenkins Independent School say Burdine Elementary renovations are nearly complete. The school has had many updates since it was heavily damaged in the July 2022 flood. Preschool students just moved into a new facility for their classes. Superintendent Damian Johnson says they still have some exterior work to finish.
We've done some of the work. Well, a lot of the groundwork has been done. We got a swing set back up and going, but we have new playground equipment on the way. And just like with everything else, we're going to build back our playground better as well.
Johnson also says the teachers at the school went above and beyond to get the school to where it is now. A Laurel County man is behind bars after police say he struck a woman in the face. It happened last Thursday evening off Dog Branch School Road in Laurel County. After deputies arrived at the scene, they learned two people were involved in an argument which led to 42-year-old Michael Jiger reportedly striking a woman in the face. He was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. One broadband project is underway in Harlan County. Officials with the Kentucky Center for Rural Development and the Appalachian Regional Commission announced an $80,000 grant for the Clover Lick Broadband project. Harlan County Judge Executive Dan Mosley says this is a step in the right direction when it comes to improving connectivity within the county.
Being able to get those investments made, to be able to get this service available to people is huge, and we certainly appreciate Congressman Rogers, his vision to create the Kentucky Wired initiative, and that in itself has enabled other providers to be able to tap into this high-speed middle mile that's come through our area.
Judge Mosley says they are continuing to secure funding for future projects regarding broadband connectivity. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet has announced the city of Hazard is receiving more than $28,000 in emergency road aid funds. The funding will be used for a slide repair on Cornell Street. Kentucky Blood Center's Big Blue Slam blood drive is underway, and Kentucky has the early lead. It marks the 16th year Kentucky has competed against Florida. Eric Lindsay with the Blood Center says this year's blood drive comes at a critical time. Last week's winter weather caused them to lose more than 500 donations. Lindsay says they hope the blood drive will help stock the shelves and boost supply.
The thing about blood is it has to be on the shelves ahead of time. Whenever that need arises, whenever it might be in your life or your family's life, it's not something that we want to do after the fact. We can't be asking people to come in when you're on that hospital bed.
You can donate all this week at all 8 donor centers. That includes locations in Corbin, Pikeville, and Somerset. There are also mobile drives in various locations. We'll have one here at the station next Wednesday. Donors will receive a Big Blue Slam t-shirt and be entered to win 2 tickets to the UK-Florida game next week. The Perry County Sheriff's Office has a new look thanks to one local artist using her talents to beautify the front office. Hazard artist Janet Cornett says the Sheriff's Office staff reached out to her recently about painting a mural, and she says as she started thinking of a theme, the perfect idea came to mind.
I was like, let's do something in the memory of the flood victims. So that was our inspiration for this mural. And we want it to be something happy and peaceful when you look at it. Nothing, you know, we didn't want sadness.
Perry County Sheriff Joe Ingalls says they were amazed at how fast it all came together, saying it only took Cornett about 8 hours to finish the mural, and several people have already expressed how much they enjoy it. A well-known country music star is coming to Knott County. The Knott County Community Foundation and Knott County Schools Speech and Debate Team are partnering with primary care centers of Eastern Kentucky to host an evening with Clint Black. The event will raise money for various organizations in the county. The event is set for 7 p.m. on April 13th at the Morton Combs Athletic Complex. Tickets just went on sale this evening. The chair of the board of the Knott County Community Foundation, Dustin Combs, shared why they expect this event to be special.
It's going to be a very personal, I think, event because it is a bit smaller, but it's still large enough to where we can put a pretty good show on. And one thing that I think we're excited about is that when we were looking at different artists that could come into this venue, we wanted somebody that was an established artist that would have a good draw and a good song catalog, and also somebody that would be affordable to the people in this.
A Knott County native and country music singer Tyra Madison will also perform. You can find a link to purchase the tickets by clicking on this story on WYMT.com. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, former Ambassador Nikki Haley is looking to close the gap between her and GOP frontrunner, former President Donald Trump.
Plus, rounds of rain are likely this week, and some of those could be a little bit heavy. Your forecast coming up after this break.